What helps you go to sleep when you don't feel tired?
Reading. It's kind of sad, but I've realized books put me to sleep now, even if it's an exciting book.
That's not sad, my dude. I know someone who reads to go to sleep. I myself would love to be able to do that.
I'm the opposite. I am unable to put a book down if I am really into it. It's why I don't start a book series at night. There may have been a couple of sleepless nights where I had a problem with impulse control. I read a lot, but very rarely before I go to sleep now.
Reading does not help me whatsoever. Except when I'm reading something boring. If the book is interesting, I could read all night long. What helps me to fall asleep are podcasts. I put my earphones in and almost always, after 15 minutes I'm dead to sleep.
How it's made. That should be called how it's melatonin.
2:30 a.m. Honey, what are you watching at this time of the night? Eh? A video on YouTube about how hummus is made. Background voice. Then the chickpeas travel on the conveyor belt to a saline bath.
Nillard does that to me. I don't understand anything about chemistry, so I don't have to concentrate, and his voice. I fell asleep in my armchair at least 3 times watching his videos.
How it's made needs to be stored in nuclear bunkers in case of an apocalyptic loss of information.
Real talk about melatonin. It doesn't put you to sleep. That's what sleep medicine is for. Melatonin is more based on our circadian rhythm. So for instance, let's say you want to start going to bed earlier, you would want to take melatonin 2 to 3 hours before that time because it tells your body to start getting ready for bed. It's also really great for when you travel and you get jet lag. Want to adjust to that new time zone quicker? Take some melatonin to help reset your clock. Cheers! I learned a trick recently that helps me a lot. I count backwards from 99. Slowly. The key is to do it slowly, and I cannot emphasize the importance of that enough. Think the number, then take a pause that feels a little bit too long before thinking the next number, then take another pause. 99. Pause. 98. Pause. 97. Pause. 96. Pause. The lowest I've ever counted is into the 60s or maybe the 50s before I fall asleep. Often, I'm asleep before I'm through the 80s. Sometimes I lose track of what the next number is because I catch myself falling asleep, so I'll start over, and I always fall asleep quickly after that. Again, the key is to count backward. Slowly. Before I started doing this, I used to toss and turn in bed for hours trying to fall asleep. But this knocks me out in minutes. Maybe you're wondering, why start at 99? Why not 100? If I start at 100, I hear Bono's voice from the Rattle and Hum version of Bullet the Blue Sky, saying, slapping him down. 100. 200. Which eventually leads to, am I bugging you? Don't mean to bug you, from Silver and Gold. And that bugs me, which makes it even harder to fall asleep, god. So, I start at 99 instead, because that.
I'm at negative 486. Did I do it wrong?
Cheers for the tip. Gonna try this tonight. My sleep has been utterly pants for weeks, and it's starting to drive me ever so slightly mad.
What an incredibly British way of saying that.
Utterly pants is a delightful looking phrase. I shall attempt to incorporate it into my daily vernacular.
White noise, such as rain sounds.
For anyone interested, My Noise is a fantastic site full of noise generators. If you donate to their Patreon, even just a one-time donation, you get access to some more randomized ones with countless high-quality recordings of various nature sounds. Not only can it be good for sleeping, I've also found some of their livelier sounds are a great middle ground between music and silence for focusing on work. Not so much sound you get distracted, but not so silent you can hear your heartbeat.
Bro, you red liking it.
I always have a fan on when I try to sleep. Usually that or a quiet AC unit will do the trick. As long as it's just white noise, and there's not anything too distinct in the sound profile for my brain to fix on.
I play some stories in my head. Like you're suddenly a character in your favorite series, and what would you do and stuff.
I do the same thing, though sometimes the plot gets too deep and it causes me to not be able to sleep for even longer. It's a problem.
Yeah, that happens to me too actually. I tell myself then I continue in the morning and then make the plot go to nighttime. I mostly never continue the plot in the morning, it's just a sweet little lie I tell myself.
I do this thing that the US Army does. They start from their feet and only focus on one body part at a time. They completely relax their whole body section by section, and then once completely relaxed they try not to think of anything and fall asleep in about 10 seconds. It used to take about 20 minutes for me to fall asleep by just laying there with my eyes closed, but I tried this last week and I fell asleep straight away.
I remember I was staying at my grandma's house one time when I was little, and I was homesick, and she told me to do this, and in the morning, she said I didn't even get past my knees.
My mom talked me through this when I was a kid too, but we combined breathing. So for example, you inhale and feel your breath go all the way down to your toes, exhale and feel it come all the way back up. Repeat, work your whole body, boom, relaxed. Think it's a yoga thing too maybe.
Also a great way if you want to lucid dream. Thinking of nothing takes some practice though, but once you get it, it gets really easy.
When I was a kid, my mom taught me to clear my mind of everything and then picture myself flying over the ocean at night. This was probably 15 or more years ago, and I still remember my dream that night. It's still the best dream I've ever had. Soaring over the ocean, warm breeze, full moon and bright stars. I can still feel it when I recall the dream.
I have imaginary conversations with fictional characters. Sometimes I vent or ask for advice, guidance, sometimes I give it. Sometimes I antagonize them. Sometimes I'm a character in their universe, part of their story. Sometimes I'm still me, but I got stuck in their universe somehow. Sometimes I appear early in their story and have foreknowledge of their adventures and meticulously plan out how to minimize their tragedies. Eventually I'm dreaming.
I totally used to be able to do that, but as I grew up my ad got worse and now, I can barely finish a.
Cheesy as it is, Bob Ross panting videos on YouTube. He makes me feel safe and secure, talking on and on about his animals. I love falling asleep to the funny stories he tells about his paintings. He calms me down a lot when I'm feeling anxious or upset, which is mainly the reason I stay up, and I can drift off dreaming about happy little clouds and trees, and a river that Bob fishes in. Or well, catches a fish, gives it CPR, names it and gives him a little pat on the toot toot and sends him on his whale now.
Probably not the healthiest method and not something to rely on, but eating a large meal knocks me out.
I do the same. I eat a big ass sandwich with almost everything in it, and sleep with a warm chubby tummy. It's not the best method, but it is one of the best feelings about sleeping for sure.